The canon in Across the Spider-Verse makes absolutely no sense, and here's why. The first reason why the canon is absolutely ridiculous is because the point of these multiversal movies like Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, Multiverse of Madness, etc. is to explore the multiverse and show the differences within these realities and these different characters. And when you tell us that all of these different Spider-Man characters share some of the same losses, like Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy, whatever it is, similar events, everything starts to kind of blend in and everything becomes pretty generic because it's all the same experiences. At some point, yes, the multiverse needs to be connected somehow, some way with certain characters, but when you're telling us that dang near every single Spider-Man experiences the same events, how does that make them any different? Spider-Man has been around for many, many decades, man. It's time to reinvent the wheel and do something completely different and unique with the character. One of the best things about Into the Spider-Verse, for example, is that it did something unique storytelling-wise with a completely different Spider-Man we had not seen in movie format yet, bro. That's part of what made that movie really good. And honestly, in this movie, they should have been able to do that and even more with different Spider-Man, but instead it's all about how they share the same experiences and the same events, and they don't spend enough time developing new and different and unique stories for these different characters. And secondly, and this may be the biggest thing, is that the canon simply doesn't make any sense. Who decides what events are canon and aren't canon, and who decides which events are going to completely destroy that universe and which events can happen and not destroy the universe? It's absolutely dumb. Who is watching over all of these universes? You mean to tell me that before Spider-Man 2099 came about, there was no such thing as a canon? This didn't just come out of thin air. They need to explain the origins of the canon and the Spider Society, but they don't really dive deep into that, man. And another thing is the fact that how in the world is one event in Spider-Man's life in one reality possibly causing the deaths of millions of people in that one timeline? For example, if an Uncle Ben in a Spider-Man reality doesn't die like he should, you mean to tell me that that whole reality is just going to go to shreds? What? It doesn't make any sense, and especially when you factor in the fact that just like the MCU, there are many universes that have multiple heroes in the Avengers and the Fantastic Four or whatever, multiple heroes along with just Spider-Man, and you mean to tell me that because one thing doesn't happen in Spider-Man's life, it affects the lives of millions of other people? That idea is absolutely dumb, and I'm not making this up. It's in the movie. You can go back and watch it, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. And with there being multiple heroes and multiple Avengers, you mean to tell me that none of the other heroes in those other universes would step up and try and question the canon or the legitimacy of it? Like a Doctor Strange who's literally all about protecting the multiverse. Why is he not doing anything? You think that he would be okay with sitting down knowing the fact that if something doesn't happen in Peter's life, that the whole universe goes to shreds? Other heroes as well, like an Iron Man or a Hulk or other Avengers, you mean to tell me they just sit back and let this happen and let these different universes die and don't do anything because of one thing in Spider-Man's life? It's absolutely ridiculous. And then lastly is two different things. First off, there's no shot that Miles should be outsmarting and outrunning these thousands of Spider Society people who definitely have more experience than Miles, because Miles is just a kid. That makes no sense. Lastly is the fact that the main Miles' universe should be absolutely destroyed to shreds. While Miguel is fighting Miles here on this machine, he literally tells Miles different events that should have happened in his timeline. The only way Miguel would know these events should be happening is if they were a part of the canon, because he can see different events. And he tells Miles Peter B. Parker should have lived, that spider should have never bit you, etc. Those are different canon events that did not happen in Miles' reality, and he got bit by a spider, but somehow his universe is completely intact. But for some reason, when Miguel O'Hara wants to go see his daughter, the whole universe goes to shreds. Again, who decides what events are going to be fatal to the universe and which ones aren't? They don't explain it, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Over and over again, I keep saying it's ridiculous, bro. And with the anomaly thing, they reference in this movie how dangerous anomalies can be. You know, anomalies are people who go into the different universe or a wrong universe for a period of time. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield went into Tom's universe in No Way Home along with the 5 villains, and nothing happened whatsoever until the end of the movie. And the only reason the sky started to break apart was because of the spell, nothing with the universe. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense, man. The canon is absolutely ridiculous, and it ruins Across the Spider-Verse for me, and quite frankly, it's one of the dumbest plot threads I've ever seen.